Professor Horror. Scary Stories.
Locked inside the mind. Dr. Monica Stevens was a leading neuroscientist in the field of memory studies. Her passion for understanding the intricate pathways of the human brain had driven her to conduct numerous experiments to unlock its full potential. Her latest project, titled Cerebral Imprint, aimed to create a device that would map out every memory a person had. The purpose was noble: to help patients with Alzheimer's or other memory disorders to re-access lost memories. Sarah, a graduate student in neuroscience, had just joined Dr. Stevens' team. Sarah had heard much about the legendary Dr. Stevens, but never anticipated the extent of her obsession. Soon after joining, Sarah was introduced to the memory chamber, a dimly lit room with a single reclining chair in the center, connected to an intricate array of machinery. Dr. Stevens explained, "We've made significant strides in capturing memories, Sarah. We're on the brink of a breakthrough." Curiosity got the better of Sarah, and one night, after everyone had left, she decided to try the memory chamber herself. Sarah settled into the chair, placing the neural interface gently on her temple. The last thing she remembered was pressing the start button. She found herself standing in her childhood home, every detail vivid. Sarah recognized the memory. It was the day her family had moved out of the house. She watched as her younger self hugged her parents, tears streaming down her face. The scene then morphed, and she was in high school, then at her college graduation, and then the day she met her boyfriend, Mark. It was exhilarating and overwhelming to relive these moments. Suddenly, the memories turned. She was walking home one evening. A man, his face obscured by the shadows, started following her. She felt the same fear, the racing heart, the quickening steps. Sarah had managed to escape him that night, but she wasn't so sure inside the memory chamber. The man got closer and closer, reaching out a hand to grab her. Panicking, Sarah tried disconnecting herself from the machine, but there was no interface, button, or escape. The memories kept playing, darker and more menacing. Each memory seemed to stretch longer, and the fear felt more real. She remembered the time that she thought someone had broken into her apartment, the feeling of being watched, that eerie phone call with a whispered voice on the other end. Each time, the shadowy man reappeared, his intentions more sinister. Days, weeks, or maybe even months seemed to pass. Sarah was trapped in a loop of her most terrifying memories, amplified and distorted. The shadowy figure was always there, a relentless stalker in her mind. Back in the real world, only minutes had passed. Dr. Stevens and her team found Sarah the next morning, still connected to the machine, her face pale and her body trembling. They quickly disconnected her, but Sarah was catatonic, her eyes empty. Dr. Stevens realized that the device had malfunctioned. Instead of capturing a balanced array of memories, it focused on Sarah's fears, creating a psychological prison. Sarah was locked inside her mind, reliving her worst nightmares. In the following weeks, top neurologists tried to revive Sarah, but it was as if her consciousness had retreated deep within her brain, unreachable. The incident was hushed up, and the memory chamber was shut down. Years later, the memory chamber had become a dark legend among the neuroscience community. As for Dr. Stevens, she left the field entirely, haunted by the knowledge that her obsession had cost a young woman her sanity. And somewhere, locked inside a mind of endless fear, Sarah still ran from the shadowy figure, searching for an escape that might never come.